Okay, so first things first, do your full name and your age.
I'm Makayla Freeman, 28 years old. This week in my 20s.
Sweet. Okay, Makayla. So you were my second cousin to have on the show. Our first one was Gabrielle.
Yes.
So usually I ask people like how we met, but we've met obviously a long time ago.
I met you when you were born.
Yeah, when I was born. You know me since day one. So can I talk about like why we're shooting in this, like where are we right now? Like,
sure.
Why is it significant to shoot in this room or this house?
Yeah. You want me to talk a little bit about the house?
Yeah, because we chose to shoot here on purpose.
Yeah.
Because why?
So this is my house in Vancouver. I've lived in Vancouver for 5 years now, which is wild. But this house has been a very special landing place while we lived in the city. I live here with my partner, so we moved in together in this house, which was really exciting. And this has also been like a very special gathering place for community for us here. It's been the first time in my life where I've had like a lot of really close friends and people who I can be like, what are you doing tonight? Like, come over for dinner, or like, I'm watching a show tonight. Do you want to come watch with me?
Yeah.
And like people who do life with you. And we have like a huge space here, a massive couch. We're measuring it. It's like 9 feet long.
Yeah.
Like, my friends just pile on there. We have a massive dining table, seats 8 people.
What's the biggest amount of people we've had in like the living area?
In the house?
Yeah.
I think we had 50 people here one day.
That's pretty good.
We did like a, I wanted to host a house party, but I'm more introverted than most. Okay. And so I invited everyone to bring a book they'd been meaning to read.
Okay, sweet.
And we just like decked the house in pillows and comfortable places to sit, and like food on every surface, and like wine and drinks, and people just came all day and just like laid around and read in the house.
That sounds like a great idea.
It was really fun.
A great fun party.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we're gonna jump into questions.
Okay.
And so, sorry, you said you're moving from this place too, right?
We are.
So the reason we're doing it here is because like this is kind of like your, I mean, I won't say you're almost 30, but like you're 28, and so like this is kind of like a launch off point where you're like, does it feel like you're changing chapters?
Yeah.
From moving from this house? Like
it does. We're probably going to be moving into a small apartment, just the two of us. We have roommates here, so that's going to be a big change. But I'm also like, most of my 20s have been post-COVID.
Okay, yeah.
So
yeah.
This is also the first like house in my 20s where I could like have people over.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're moving to a small place where our lifestyle will probably change, and we won't be able to host in quite the same way. And also, I'm going to be turning 30 in the next year and a half, and that's
right.
Wild.
But then how does it feel to be moving out of the house? Like, what does it feel like to be, does it feel like you're changing chapters? Like, I won't say intentionally, but like you're moving to a new place and you're like, okay, This is an intentional shift and like shift in my own life and in your living space. Like, how does that feel?
Yeah. I think it marks a change in chapters in a lot of ways. We're planning to move to East Vancouver, which is closer to where most of our friends live.
Sure.
It's more like central, so we can actually be out and about in the city a bit more. So I think now that we like have our places that we love, it feels like we can be there more if we live there.
Sure.
I also just finished all my courses for my like doctorate, so I don't have to be on campus all the time, so we can like move away from UBC campus.
Sure.
Which feels like a change of chapters, and also it'll be the first home that's like just ours.
Yeah.
And that
sharing
feels really
with like 9 people or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels really special to like build a home like just for us.
Sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna start off with questions now.
Okay.
What is something in your 20s that you are proud of?
I feel like I've chilled out in my 20s. Would you agree?
Yes. No, I think since you were the oldest cousin, you kind of like had this like other kind of like realm. Like obviously we knew you, but it was like you were like doing things so much farther ahead than us. And so you seem more like an adult and less like a cousin.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Like, I guess now I feel like we're closer because it's like the age gap is like
We're all adults now.
we're all adults now. It's like
Yeah.
I feel like once everyone is past 18, it's like it doesn't really matter how old
Yeah.
you are. Like the cousin or family rivalry kind of like goes away after that.
Yeah.
But I want to hear more about what do you mean you've calmed down?
Yeah.
That way?
Like chilled out. I think I learned like, well, I chose a career path that meant I was going to be a student forever.
Sure. Yeah. Which is what?
I'm going to be a registered psychologist one day.
Woo.
Yeah, very
Huge.
exciting. But it requires like many, many years of school.
Right.
And so I think part of it was just realizing like I couldn't just live for like way down the road because graduation and like all the things that come with building a career post grad weren't going to happen till my 30s.
Sure.
So it was like, oh, if I want to enjoy this decade while I'm in school, I have to like be present now and not just see the like far away goals as the only ones that matter.
Sure.
So I think that helped me chill out and being like, oh, like land in the present moment. I think I also just learned to laugh at myself. Like, I'm pretty ridiculous. And like, there are some things I take too seriously still, but I think I've gotten better at being like, that's silly.
Yeah.
Like, we can all calm down.
Yeah, we can all understand this is less important or like less serious than I thought it was previously.
Yeah. And I think that's like brought a lot of joy into my life.
Sure. Do you have an example of like what you kind of think you took was serious that you don't take serious anymore?
I mean, I think I've been a bit of a perfectionist.
Okay. Okay.
And I think realizing that like mistakes are just part of being human and you do the best learning when you've messed up.
Yeah.
Like the opportunity to repair a relationship, for example, when you mess up and you hurt someone.
Yeah.
Or the opportunity to like see the gap between what you thought you knew and what you actually did. Okay. Like that's where the real learning happens.
Sure.
And so I think I learned to like revel in mistakes. Like when you do something perfectly, you don't learn anything. So I think that also made it like easier. I'm thinking like that, like in like school, but also in like friendships, like being willing to like take risks and be more vulnerable and like say my mind. And if things go sideways, being like, all right, let's talk it through. Let's figure it out. Like this is where the learning in relationship happens too.
Well, that is a direct correlation to one of the other questions I have that I will skip to, which is, you're just talking about mistakes. So what is one mistake that ended up teaching you an important lesson?
I had a close friendship where I kept a lot of my own like thoughts and opinions and like feelings to myself to keep the peace in the friendship. And I think what that meant was that this person felt like really close to me and really known by me. And I felt really guarded and very misunderstood and was kind of only ever half in the friendship. And I think the mistake that I made was in not naming, like not being honest about who I was, what I thought, how I was feeling earlier. Because when I finally did have the courage to share how I actually saw the world and what actually mattered to me, I think she felt really blindsided because she thought we were more honest with each other than I had been.
Interesting. When do you know, because there's like, yes, being honest with somebody. Yeah. But then it's also like, I don't know, something I think maybe I can struggle with is like, oh, I'm feeling this way. Yeah. But what's it to them if I express this feeling to them because they may not be feeling the same way or same hurt or whatever. And so it's kind of like, oh, what makes them care about this honest thought I have about whatever? Yeah, I mean, one of the things that comes to mind is that if you have feelings in a relationship, sharing how you're feeling is an invitation to that person to be close to you. Because part of being loved is to be known. Right. And when there are things that it makes sense to like sit with and mull over and chew on how we want to share it before we share it. But withholding all the time means we're withholding ourselves and we'll never really be able to be like embraced in full in those relationships. So that's one thing that comes to mind for me. And the other thing is like the people we want to do life with, that we want to be really close with and have in our day to day, like we want them there because we want to know what they think and how they see the world. And we want to be able to like share our thoughts and the TV show we watched and this thing that we've been reading. And like, if we don't ever share that with a person, then like, what is the relationship based on? Yeah, I definitely see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay, interesting. Yeah. All right, next question. Best advice you've been given in your 20s? Okay, this is going to be a bit meandery. Go for it. My supervisor, in research and in my clinical work, sat me down one time because I was very burnt out and doing too many things. Anyone who knows me know won't be surprised to hear me say that. And I remember saying, like, I feel like I have to do all these things because I have to grow and I have to do better.
And she said to me, like, when you think about your therapist and how you want your therapist to be living their life, what do you imagine their life looks like? And I was thinking about like, oh, I hope that they have like close friendships and a healthy relationship with their partner and hobbies, and that they take time off on the weekends. And she was like, okay, so part of you showing up for your clients and your work is that you need to nurture that part of yourself too. And I don't think that just applies to therapy. Like, I think that like the bigger lesson that I took from that is to like think about who I want speaking into my life. Like, who do I want to be guiding me or walking with me in like the hardest parts, the things I'm still figuring out, and how do I hope they're taking care of themselves? How do I hope they're living according to their values? Like, what do I hope is guiding their choices? And then doing that myself so that I can like show up for other people that way too.
Have you implemented that into your own life after hearing that? And like, have you done that of like finding time for yourself and not being the burnt out person?
Yeah, I mean, I think that was how I built the community we've had here.
Yeah.
I started coming home from a day at the clinic and asking friends to come over and watch a movie with me in the evening. And like, it was because that was all I had the energy for, but also because I was like, I need to see other people. Otherwise, I just come home, I make lunch for tomorrow, I go to bed, and I wake up and do the same thing the day after.
Right.
And I think that was like the beginning. It started becoming a weekly thing, and we called it Queer Media Night because it was a bunch of queer folks, and we would just like watch ridiculous reality TV and talk over top of it.
Sure. Commentary.
Yeah, exactly. But it became the beginning of that. I think there have been seasons since then, like semesters that have been intense where I have not protected that time as well as I should have, and I felt it. But I think it's more a part of myself and how I think about building my life now than it used to be. Yeah.
And you said it doesn't just apply to like your career. Does it apply to like, I mean, if you're saying, okay, how I want my partner to best show up for me, or how do I want my friends to show up for me, and like apply that outward?
Yeah. I think even like with things like exercise or going to bed on time.
Yeah.
Right? Like being like, how would I want someone who's like speaking into this part of my life to be showing up for themselves and being like, well, I should probably stop scrolling and go to bed.
Right.
Or like, oh, I should go for that walk. Like that would be good for me. So it's like, it's a way of accessing, I think, like just compassion and care for ourselves, but like through the lens of responsibility, which is a great hack for me.
Right. It's not just for me, it's for everyone else around.
Everyone else too. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. That makes sense. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, next one. We'll move on. What's been the most surprising thing about your 20s?
How much changes in that decade?
Okay.
Like when I think about who I was when I turned 20 and who I am now.
Like 8 years does so much.
Oh God, like holy crap. I remember hating when I was like 20, 21 and people being like, you're so young. I was like, I'm grown up.
I made it to, yeah.
I made it here. And now I'm like, oh babies.
Yeah.
There's just so much. The first like 3 years at least of your 20s is just nuts. Like it's just a mess. It was.
I can attest. Yeah.
There's just like so much. First, your brain is still developing, so you're still figuring out how to make decisions and like how to make sense of the world and your feelings. And in the world that we're living in, that's like a task for a developed brain.
Right.
Never mind one that's not there yet.
Yeah.
But I think too, like it just takes so much practice and so much trying and failing and learning and trying and failing and learning to like come into yourself. And I think a lot of that happens in your 20s.
Do you think you kind of want to apply that idea going forward where it's like, yeah, I think about myself 8 years ago, I'm like, man, I don't know how old I was, but I was young.
Yeah.
And I'm not even remotely the same person.
Yeah.
Like, I hope for myself, if I'm like from 28 to like 38, I hope like there is still so much growth. I'm like, oh man, when I was 28, like I was so different. Like, do you kind of want to continue pursuing that change and that growth?
Oh yeah.
From like 10 years from now, you're like, oh man, Makayla when she was 28, she didn't know what was going on or like whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
Like, I hear your 50s are great.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
You know, like, I think I have the sense of, I think every decade has something to teach us. And I think I'm feeling close to complete with what I needed to learn in order to be myself in my 20s. And also aware that, like, my 30s is ripe with learning, like, that there will be so much waiting for me there. I hope there are parts of myself that I recognize looking back. Like, I want to protect, like, even, like, little me who's still, like, here and worth, like, showing up for and worth taking along for the ride. But I also hope that there are parts of me that are, like, unrecognizable because I've, like, grown and learned so much.
Wow. Yeah, I totally agree. All right, next one. Something about your 20s nobody warned you about. So it's kind of like a negative one, but like...
Yeah. I think this is going to sound bleak for a second.
Sure.
But I think, like, how lonely they can be. I think it's so important to have people who know and love you. And I think building relationships like that takes work.
Yeah.
And I think that work sometimes means seasons of aloneness. And that's brutal.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's brutal. And I think that that's true of any season in life, but I think in your 20s, when you're, like, out in the big wide world by yourself in so many ways, that you feel that loneliness, like, extra. And life still doesn't quite feel so long. Like, in the sense of, like, there's this sense, I think, in your 20s of, like, whatever I figure out now is how it's going to be forever. Like, I think you have that feeling a little bit, or at least I did. Sure. And I was like, this is my moment. Like, I need to figure it out or else, you know, this is the time.
Yeah.
And so when there were days when I was like, I don't have anyone to call, like, I think I was like, this is what adulthood is like. I'll just always be alone.
Wow.
And I think that's part of the journey for many people. And I don't think that means it is that way forever. But some days it sure feels like that.
Definitely. I've definitely had, like, several years where it's like, oh man, like, I don't have anybody.
Yeah.
Or, I think loneliness for me was a big teacher.
Yeah.
For me is like learning how to be able to exist on my own.
Yeah.
And not, like, need somebody. So I think, yes, loneliness is bad. There's, I don't think there's, like, nothing else. There's no other feeling to, like, being lonely.
Yeah.
Like, you can have people around you and still be super lonely.
Yeah.
And, like, there's nothing else like it.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain to someone who hasn't really experienced it before. It's like,
it
just is like almost this, like, cage or whatever.
Yeah.
But for me, it ended up teaching me about independence and about, like, not like having to need people. Or, like, I moved out on my own.
Yeah.
When I was 20, I guess. And I was like, oh, I can go to work, come home, and, like, exist and, like, not, like, need somebody.
Yeah.
But that I always say that it's very addicting. Loneliness is very addicting, where you're like, oh, I'm independent, I'm by myself, like, oh, it's so easy to just, like, to deal with my own shit without having to deal with someone else's garbage too. Or whatever. And so then you become really used to it.
Yeah.
And then when people come in, you're like, oh, like, there's all this extra stuff coming at me. Like, I don't want you to be a part of this. It's way easier on my own.
Yeah.
And so that's, like, you can be self-isolating because it's way easier to deal with your own stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I've found with loneliness.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I think finding what it is to take responsibility for yourself, right? Which loneliness can call you into that. And sometimes, like, taking responsibility for yourself means being like, I actually need to have people here.
I need to get out.
I need to get out. I need to, like, make room for other humans and the inconveniences that brings with it.
Yeah.
And, like, I need to, like, stretch in that way too.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it isn't always as easy just being like, oh, like, come on in. It's like, sometimes you're like, I have to look for these people and you can't find them. And so it's like, which deepens the loneliness. Is like, okay, well, there's no one around. Yeah. But yeah, I definitely understand the loneliness.
Yeah.
How have your relationships changed since entering your 20s, leaning more towards romantic ones? Yeah.
Well, I've been in a relationship since I was 19.
Okay.
With the same person. So I have one relationship.
Yeah.
How has it changed? Well, we've grown up. Like, we were like
Just kids.
just kids.
Yeah.
When I turned 20, I was like in the closet. Really scared. Oh, I think I only knew I knew love as an escape from fear, but I didn't know love as like a landing place in a context without, like, in a world that was steady and where I had other places of safety.
Interesting.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it can, yeah.
Because, like, yeah, being in a closeted relationship and being so young and so new to all of that, and like my whole worldview kind of shaking in the context of that was really scary.
Sure.
And I think and that's hard work to like stay afloat and to like show up for each other and to do that in a healthy way in such a like frightening context. And now, like, we work hard, but in a different way to love each other. Like, I think now we have a level of like stability and safety in our day-to-day lives of community and healthy relationships around us that like know and love us and hold us. And that means that we like get to do the hard work with each other of like, okay, like now that we're not in survival mode in quite the same way where we're having to like protect, it feels like we have to protect ourselves.
Right.
We can like start to grow inside the relationship in a new way. And that's been challenging and that's like scary in a different way. But it also feels more like mature and more like rooted in like commitment and respect.
And less like I don't use the word like infatuation or think that, but like that it's more adult, it's deeper,
it's like anchored to something.
Okay, it's a good answer. You're killing it here. So here's another fun one. Is
Okay.
like the funnest one I have.
Yeah.
Is if your 20s had a title like a movie, what would it be? Which is often people have a hard time thinking with this one. So if you want to come back to it, you can.
Okay, title like a movie.
Yeah.
Something that's hard about this one is my 20s have been so full. Like, I'm like, I lived in Sweden, lived in Calgary, lived back here.
Oh, yeah.
I've been in school the whole time, but at like different institutions.
Sure.
So like finding one arc through it feels hard.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so cheesy.
But do it.
This is so cheesy. Do you know the song Come Out and Play by Billie Eilish?
Yes.
Okay. That title, like Come Out and Play, is the thing that comes to mind for me.
That's not cheesy.
It's just like the sense of like, I mean, literally come out, but also just like feeling less afraid to like be out in the world and take risks and put myself out there and like finding joy and playfulness in that.
That's a good one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a great one. That's like probably one of the best ones I've had because before people are like, fucking hell, or like, I'm like, okay, like, we got that's definitely a title.
Is that someone in their early 20s still?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Told you.
Yeah, it's like, it's hell. I'm like, well, okay. Yeah.
It's a proper shit show. It gets better though.
It's a proper shit show. What do you hope to remember about this time looking back on life?
I hope to be proud. I hope to feel like soft towards this version of myself. And by that I mean when I have in the past like thought about younger versions of me, I'm often very hard on her. Like I'm often very I was for a very long time. Like I can be hard on myself in the present, but like hard on younger versions of me too.
Sure.
And I think as I learn to be kinder to myself now, I find like a softness and a compassion for younger me as well. And so I think when you ask me like, what do you hope to remember about this time? Like the thing that comes to mind for me is I'm just like, oh, I hope to like remember like 20, 25, 28-year-old Makayla and just like feel like so soft towards her, like so proud.
Like you were doing your best, like you did it. Like,
yeah. For all the things that have been hard and that have pushed me and that I've done anyways. I've done the like sentence like do it scared.
Yeah, do it like, scared, do it tired, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I think I've done a lot of things scared and just been like, just do it. Like do it scared. You don't have to wait till it's not scary.
Little Nike plug.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah. But I think, like, I hope I feel proud of myself for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of just, like, I guess, throwing yourself into things, which is also very hard to do.
Yeah.
I think I don't always remember to give myself enough credit for doing that.
Yeah.
Or I'm like, oh, like, do you ever kind of find yourself in a moment you're like, wow, like, I wouldn't have done this a couple years ago, or like, oh, I'm actually out doing this, which most people wouldn't actually do, or, you know, do you find yourself in those situations when you do?
Yeah.
Do you go like, oh, like, little pat on the back, like, good for me, like, I'm out here doing this, I'm at this class or whatever, and
Yeah.
like, you're proud of yourself for being in that moment.
Yeah. I remember feeling that way, like, my first night alone in my apartment in Sweden.
Yeah.
And being like, I live here now. I did it.
Yeah.
And also, like, terrified.
Yeah.
And moving here,
Mm-hmm.
I, like, moved into this room in a share house, my first house here in Vancouver, and it was, like, so gross. And one of the people who lived there hoarded, so it was
sweet.
just, like, full of stuff. But it was so cheap.
Yeah.
I needed
Dirt
it to be
cheap.
so cheap. And I remember, like, being in my apartment and being like, I did it. Like, I moved to Vancouver.
Yeah.
Like, I live here now.
I crossed the threshold.
I did, yeah. Standing by the ocean and being like, like, I did it.
I live here.
I live here. I still say that. Jasmine and I still say that to each other. We'll, like, be walking down the street and we'll just look at each other and go, like, we live here.
I want to have that moment. Like, I live here. Like, yeah.
Yeah. I forget what the question was.
That's okay. We answered it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
If you didn't, then whatever.
Okay.
Also, I was going to ask, you said, like, since this is not a question, but you're, like, in Sweden,
Yeah.
how is it, like, kind of doing these things first in the family? Because, like, as, like, me, I only have the perspective of, like, being, like, the 8th grandkid or whatever, where it's,
Yeah.
like, there's everyone else ahead of me that's doing stuff where you can kind of, like, learn vicariously through them, through their life. Like, okay, they're going to school, they're doing these things, but they bought a
Yeah.
car, like,
Yeah.
whatever. How is it being the first to do
first.
everything?
I am a stubborn one.
Okay.
And I think that, like, when I talk about, like, oh, I've done a lot of things scared, I've also probably scared the crap out of a lot of the adults in my life. And I think they probably watched me do a lot of things for the first time. Like, I think about my parents, like, watching me board the plane, and I'm like, I was 19. Like, 19, I was 20. I was
Yeah.
20 when I went, and, like, at the time felt so grown up and so ready for that. And I'm
Yeah.
so glad I did it. I think it was exactly what I needed to do. But now I look at 20-year-olds and I'm like, of course my parents were terrified. Like, of course
Yeah.
they were. And so I think...
Are they going to make it? Like,
Yeah. And so I think, like, part of it is that I think because I was so stubborn and so determined and was like, I am going to do this, I think that helped me put on a brave face and
Sure.
be like, I'm going to make it happen.
Yeah.
And I think that was what made it possible to do it first. I think I also have liked doing things first because then I get to write my own script for it.
Sure.
Like, I get to decide how I want to do it and let that be the way it's done. And I think that gives me, like, a lot of freedom. Yeah.
no need to, like, follow any footsteps. You can kind of just, like, make the path. And,
Yeah. And like, it's meant having to figure a lot of things out for the first time, like being in university and figuring out, like, how that works and what graduate school is and what it means to write a thesis or a dissertation. Like, I hadn't known anyone who knew that. And so I think the other part of being first is being willing to reach out. And, like, I told my supervisor, I remember the first time I got a scholarship with the university, and I was sitting with my supervisor, and I was like, I have a dumb question. She was like, what's your question? I was like, am I allowed to buy groceries with this? Like, I was just like,
Yeah.
or does it pay for school books?
Yeah.
Like, what
What is this for?
What is this for? And, like, being willing to just, like, ask the questions and be like, I need to figure out how this works because I want to do it.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, determined streak in me
Yeah.
has made the way.
has paved the way for you.
Yeah.
Okay. What is something you thought you'd have figured out by now, but don't?
Something I thought I'd have figured out by now, but don't. To be really vulnerable, I think finances.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I think I had perhaps an overly simplistic understanding of how, like, what good financial management looked like, and it's complicated, and there's a lot in your control, and then there's a lot of things that you don't have control over. And like being a student, I have my income capped. I have the number of hours a week I work capped, and I've been in school for a really long time.
Sure.
And so I think there are still things that are hard about figuring out what to put money towards,
Sure.
what's a reasonable thing to spend on.
Especially in this city.
Yeah, we live in an expensive city. I think like maybe what I mean when I say finance is deciding like how financial security fits into my value system and how to take care of my financial well-being without it consuming like my life in a way that tips my other values out.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where money or finances isn't the only thing that you're thinking about always. It's
No.
like you want to still enjoy things, but also have a good grasp on it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's hard and complicated, and the economy has been a mess, and I live in one of the most expensive cities in Canada.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's hard.
What do you think you and yourself would be most proud of right now, looking at you?
I think that my life is so full. People who know me know that I'm busy.
Sure.
But I'm busy with good things.
Yeah.
I'm busy with things that fill my cup and bring me joy.
That you want to do.
Yes. Some semesters of school have wrung me out.
Sure.
But I'm busy because I like go thrift shopping on the weekends and have friends over for dinner and go paddleboarding out and camp somewhere and catch the ferry to Victoria. Like, my life is full of things that fill my cup and make me feel connected to the world and to the people around me. And I'm really like proud of myself for having built that. And I think like younger me would be excited for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
What is something you're hoping to accomplish in your 20s that you have left?
That I have left.
Yeah.
That I have left. I think moving into our own place.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
So you're already on the road to accomplish that.
Yeah. I think that's a big one. Yeah, I think that's it.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
It's good that like you're already on the road to accomplish that.
Yeah.
Was that always like anything you wanted to accomplish? Like 2 years ago, you're like, I want to move out and have our own place.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I think like roommate living has been like so kind to us in so many ways, and there's something I love creating home.
Yeah.
Like I love making a space feel like home, and I love getting to do that with my partner, and I love like filling it with things that make us feel like it's ours, and that we get to share with people, and there's like parameters that you brush up against when you share a space with other people about how much you can do that.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited for us to like really settle in and make a place our own.
Make it your own. Sweet.
Yeah.
What are you a beginner at right now?
So many things. Goodness.
Really?
Yeah. Oof. Well, one of the things that I'm a beginner at that I feel I'm really bad at too. For Christmas this past year, my partner bought me a pasta, like a
String?
no, it's like a workshop. What's the word I'm looking for?
Workbook?
Like woodworking
Oh,
shop.
okay, yeah.
So you do like your safety training on all the saws and like machinery, and then you just go. And I was like, perfect. I'm gonna build all of our furniture, and I'm gonna reno the whole house actually. And I made a table. It's downstairs. The tile.
I have seen the table.
The tile table. I made that in one go too, because I was like, I only want to pay for the drop-in fee once. So I like measured everything out, bought all the supplies. I went. And I'm just like, I'm laughing because I'm seeing myself in this moment, standing there like 10 minutes before they're closing. I'm covered in nail glue, or in wood glue. I'm trying to get the nail gun to like, I have the thinnest little MDF boards, and I'm trying to use the nail gun to nail gun this together, but I keep on missing the edge of the board. So I keep on like nail gunning the full length and then being like, perfect. And I take my hands away and it just falls over. So we keep on joking that the table's full of nails.
Okay, yeah.
So I just kept on missing the seam where I needed to be.
I'll take a picture and throw it up right here at the table.
Yeah. I walked out of there being like, I thought that was going to be easy. But I had a blast. The same thing when go ahead. I was going to say same thing when we had to take some wallpaper down, and I'm like stripping wallpaper. There was 6 layers of wallpaper.
Holy.
From like when the house was like originally
in the 80s
built.
or something.
Oh, and it was like nasty. And I'm like scraping and then I went to paint and I was mad, and so then I got paint all over the ceiling, and I was just like, I thought I would be so much better at this.
At tearing drywall off?
At home rental projects.
Yeah.
I love them. And I do hear from folks that I'm doing a decent job, but I'm feeling like a beginner.
Okay, yeah.
I definitely am feeling like a beginner.
So carpentry is what you're a beginner at?
I mean, carpentry is one of the things that I feel like I'm just like, oh, I'm very much a beginner at that. I feel like I'm a beginner every time I see a new client.
Okay, yeah.
I'm like, do I know people? Do I know how to speak? Like, I feel like a beginner in many ways in that space. I feel like a beginner every time I write a paper still.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, again, I've been at this a while, but I think the better in some ways that you get at some things, the more you realize you don't know. And I think that keeps you in like the state of being a constant beginner, because you are always at the edge of what you know.
Yeah.
And you just have to get used to that feeling.
Wow, that's a really good way of putting it, is like being at the edge of what you know, so you're always a beginner.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's always so much more to learn about whatever.
Yeah.
Even if you're an expert.
Yeah.
Like there's always new things you can pick up and apply to yourself, whether it be careers or whatever else maybe.
Yeah.
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 Interesting. Okay, we're on the last 2 questions here.
Okay.
What would you tell your 13-year-old self?
Oh, I think the thing that comes to mind for me right now is just to say, like, there's a whole big wide world out there. I think at 13, the world felt really small. Mm-hmm. And I felt a lot of pressure to do everything perfectly in the world that I knew. And I think I would just say, like, oh, like, it's going to be okay. There's a whole big wide world out there. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so I realized we have a second last question, is what is something in your 20s that you are avoiding?
Ooh, conflict.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I hate conflict.
Me too.
I don't like being angry. I don't like hurting people's feelings. I gaslight myself when I get mad. So it's really hard for me to like be like, no, it's okay to like assert that was wrong, or you didn't like that. Or that like that hurt your feelings.
Yeah. I didn't know that about you. I didn't know that, because I had the exact same issue.
Yeah?
I didn't know that you had like that you felt like conflict was this like thing, because you were saying earlier about honesty.
Yeah.
Which I think can also be in like a direct line to conflict.
Yeah. I think the reason why that friendship went the way that it did was because I avoided conflict so hard that I like shortcutted vulnerability and honesty in the friendship.
Interesting.
And I ended up performing a version of myself that wasn't true. And by the time I finally named that person felt like betrayed, because I hadn't been myself.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden the entire friendship is dishonest on your side of things, because you're being so different.
Yeah. So I'm practicing, like, conflict is a thing I feel like I'm a beginner at.
Sure.
I'm like growing and practicing, doing it imperfectly. But I think it's like, it's important. I have to get better at it.
Do you find your brain like shuts off when you're in a conflictive situation?
Sometimes. I'm getting better at naming, like, I need to collect my thoughts. I need a break. I'm not sure what I think about this. And like, yeah. And just like also like naming what I need. Mm-hmm. And I think like, I mean, that like regulating yourself and identifying what you need also gives you more room to like hear the other person. Sure. Which gives more room for like repair. Yeah. As well. So that conflict can actually like resolve and like be growth in the relationship too. Yeah.
Nice. Last question is, what do you love about you?
Ooh, what do I love about me? Something that I hear a lot is that people feel seen when they're with me. And I think that's something I've worked hard at, is like to be present and see people when they share themselves with me. And it's something I think I love about myself.
Yeah.
I don't do it perfectly, but I'm human. And I think that it's something that happens often enough that I can like claim that that's part of how I move through the world, and that matters a lot. And it's something I like love about myself.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sweet. Well, that was the show. Thank you so much for being on the show, Makayla.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. I'm so honored to have. I want to have all the cousins on at some point.
Yeah.
So I'm so honored that you were the second one, and that I continue to keep doing this. And thank you for being honest and sharing vulnerable things with people, because sometimes it's a little hard to kind of answer those questions and know it's going to go out to the world. And I don't have a huge audience, but
No.
it is going out. So I find it can be very hard, but also therapeutic for some people to be like, oh, I felt like I learned something about myself talking about these things. But yeah.
No, thanks for inviting me to share, and I hope that folks who see this like take, if anything, like what's useful and leave the rest.
Yeah, of course. That's all you can do. And that was it for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.